Hello again. Welcome to Game 2 of the PUPCon tournament, which I participated in. Game 2 was against James. I think it's from Melbourne, Queensland. One or the other. Anyway, James, if you're watching this, which I highly doubt, my bad, because I can't remember where you're from. Anyway, yeah, Skaven. I was kind of fortunate in this game because he didn't have a warp lightning cannon. He didn't have any Jezzails. He did have a few rattling guns as usual. And he, from what I remember, he was pretty tooled up for magic. This picture shows his first turn and my deployment. You can see there the wyverns hiding from the rattling guns just in case. I know they move on fire. I didn't realize that until his turn 1, when he was moving up his rattling guns within range. And I think they've only got a 15-inch range from what I remember. Anyway, you can see down the flank, you can see his rat ogres. And from when I used to play Skaven myself, I didn't play with them that much, but rat ogres didn't do anything for me. It's more like a personal thing, but after seeing what they could do after this game, I was thinking, oh yeah, they're not that bad after all. Anyway, yeah, you can see the deployment there. You can see all my orcs are stacked up at the back as usual. I deployed the squeak hoppers further than usual, and I wanted to run them up the hill. Sorry, the forest next to the wyvern there, as you can see. Anyway, moving along. As I was talking about earlier, this is the one of the flanks with the rat ogres. And you can see they've made the spider runners run already, and he's got a big chunk of clan rats stalking down my side. Now, with this flank, I tried to hold it for as long as I could. I didn't want him running rampant through my flanks because on both flanks he had the rat ogres. You can see the night goblin archers there just doing what they can against the rat ogres. I think eventually they did get charged, but I just fled. And by that time the spider riders had already rallied. But then they fled again because when I decided to flee with the archers, they panicked them again, and with a great leadership of 6, well, as you can imagine, they didn't want to hang around. This would have been about turn 3 by now. As you can see, I've broken some of his units. The orc chariot did alright against that unit that's running away at the back there. The unit on the left actually slaves, so I think I did managed to break them with the chariot at first as well. But they rallied, and you can see the rattling guns lining up. I think eventually the orc chariot was killed by those rattling guns at the top there. Sorry, and you can see the... Sorry about that, but anyway, you can see the storm vermin there on the right-hand side there. You can see they're lining up against the night goblins. I released... I think there was two fanatics in that unit there, and one rolled a double number on the second turn that it came out. So, and you can see the one fanatic there near the forest. With the Night Goblin unit at the front, what I had in mind was combined charging them with the Black Orc War Boss onto the Storm Vermin. You can't see him in the picture there, but he's behind that Orc unit down the bottom right-hand corner. And yeah, I combined charge, broke the Storm Vermin, managed to catch them with a Night Goblin unit. And you know, I obviously didn't want to pursue with the Black Orc War Boss because I wanted him to end up somewhere else. And that's posted in the next picture. As you can see here, what I did was I flew him over to the other side and make sure those other unit of slaves were taking terror tests, which they passed, may I add. You can't see him here, but one of his Warlock engineers is actually hiding behind that the cork or the mountain or rock that the wyvern is standing on. But he fled. He rolled pretty high for that. So and that was the last I saw of him. But I was expecting the slaves to run away, but obviously not. And you can see on the left-hand side there's a big chunk of clan rats taking on the Black Orc BSB with his unit. And you can see the counter there. They've already taken a captured banner. Eventually, I did break them, but it took some time. What I was going to do is, if I didn't break him anytime soon, I was going to charge in with the Wyvern in its flank. But he managed to run away eventually. In this picture, you can see the Wyvern attacking the Rat Ogres, which ran rampant in the at the right flank. I couldn't do much about it. Took down a pump wagon, took down another unit of wolf riders, and I'm pretty sure it took out the other unit of orc boys as well. Yeah, just I wasn't prepared for that because I think their movement is 6, and they just did a lot of damage. Anyway, I was hoping I could break the rat ogres as well with the big fella, but I couldn't. I think I only scored about 2 wounds. 2 wounds on and on. Couldn't even kill a rat ogre. In return, he didn't do any wounds to me, but he did manage to pass his leadership check and didn't break. And you can see there the BSB's unit broke through the first unit. The rats did manage to rally, turn around, only to cop another charge from me. At the end of the game, that unit didn't break or anything like that, so he managed to keep points for them. It would be nice to break at least one of those 2 units, but it wasn't meant to be. And looking at the other flank with the other unit of rat ogres, eventually I got the squeak hoppers in there, but I couldn't kill enough for them to claim half points. He needed to take a break test, but he passed that leadership easily. I think he rolled like a 3 or a 4, and they were fine. Hoping I could break them, but I couldn't do enough damage with the squeak hoppers onto the other unit of rat ogres. And as you can see there, the unit of clan rats still hanging around, although they didn't do as much damage as I thought they would. Having the warlock engineer in there, I thought he'd really make a mess of that flank as well. But Stoic Goblins, I'm pretty surprised that they hang around. I'm pretty happy with the result. I did win eventually, 11-9, because of the wiping out his Storm Vermin, capturing the standards, and contesting a few table edges. And I think that was the only difference. So it was a good game. I enjoyed myself, and looking forward to Game 3.